catch 'em all.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 4 of kitchen design. What we're looking at here is I wanted to cut out the hole or the area where the sink is going to go, and that's going to be this cabinet right here. Probably put a nice little window in front of that, and then I don't know, we'll go from there. Okay, so going back out to our cabinets that we already have made, what I want to do is I want to take a line and put one on this edge. We call these dummy lines, and we're going to put one on the back edge. Okay, now switching back to 2D wireframe, we now have two lines that we can offset across the top. So technically I actually want to put one down the middle both ways. Maybe that should have been my lines. Yeah, you know what, let's do that instead. Let's get rid of these two, and we're gonna make this into a sink. Okay, so offset the sink. This is something that I usually go to HomeDepot.com and just find a sink that I like and see what the dimensions are, but in this situation I kind of have an idea of what size I want to go. This is a 36-inch cabinet, so if I left 4 inches around the entire outside, then that's going to get me down to about 28 by let's see, by 16. Okay, so if it's 28 by 16, do half of those numbers. Half of 28 is 14, and half of, what did I say, 16 is 8. Alright, now we don't need the middle lines anymore, and we're going to do a fillet radius 0. Actually, let's skip a step here. Fillet radius, let's do 2 inches. So this is going to be a pretty big sink, but I also want to split it into two. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave 2 inches down the middle, which means that you're going to offset one left and one right. Get rid of the middle line. Trim between here and here. By the way, if you're ever having trouble trimming, you can do an old school trim where basically you can type trim without hitting the extra enter, and then click the two lines that are your boundaries and hit enter, and then click between the part that you don't want. Okay, the other thing you can make sure is you can go to, I think it's called, oh, I'm already forgetting. Well, I'll get back to that if I can remember it. Okay, it's something Project 2 or something like that. Sometimes that setting is off. So anyways, we'll trim that, and then we'll do 4 more fillets at radius 2. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to join these lines. So if I go to the top, this is going to be a lot easier. Select both together, type join. They're going to stay separate. It's going to say 16 to 2 polylines, which is fine because we want 1, we want 2. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to move these up about 6 inches. And the reason why I'm going up is because we need to cut this out of the cabinet, but we also need to cut this out of the countertop. Okay, so we're going to need doubles of these, and we're going to need it to go through the countertop, which is higher than the level or the top of our cabinet. Okay, so let's extrude this down. If I only went 6, it wouldn't go into the cabinets, but if I want my sink to be like, let's say 12 inches deep, then I'm going to go 18. That goes down into. I'm going to take these two, make copies of them, pick a base point, and then click it right down on the same base point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract from the main shape, enter, 1, 2, single clicks, enter. So now if I did take these doubles away, don't get confused here, you still have these doubles. If I take those away, you'll see that we cut the hole out for where the kitchen cabinet's going to go. Okay, so I actually am going to move these out for a second because I got one more thing I want to do. I'm going to move these out at a predetermined distance, like let's say 4 feet, and then I can move them back 4 feet when I'm done. I'm also going to go back to the top view, and I'm looking at a little bit of an orbit here because I want to do a fillet edge radius 2, and I want to go around the outside shape. That way you get that like curved bottom of your sink look, which we probably won't see in the render anyways, but if we do render it from higher up, it would be nice to see. Usually when I render something, I don't just render it from one view. I do a couple different views, so we might catch it in one of them. Enter twice. Okay, so let's go to conceptual and see what that looks like. You get that nice bottom cabinet look, or bottom sink look. Alright, back to 2D wireframe. Okay, so these are going to move back in. They're going to go 4 feet. Now they're back where they need to go. Back to the top view. Notice that this is the one that I'm replacing, so I'm going to take that box out, which is, let's see if we can grab it. Nope. That's the countertop. That. Get rid of that. If I go to conceptual again, you'll see that there's nothing there. Well, if I took the countertop out, you'd see that there's nothing there, which we may need to move the countertop, so let's do that real quick. Let's move that around 15 feet on the green line. Okay, 15 feet. We'll move it back 15 in a second. We need to rotate this. So go to the top. Maybe we'll just make a copy of it. And where did that one go? Oh, there it is. Okay, rotate. Alright, now back to 2D wireframe. I'm going to grab this whole thing and move it from this back right corner. And now this is where it gets confusing, but you can see that corner right there is where we want to go. And also, I got to get rid of these doors on here because my doors are still there. So before I move it, let's get rid of 2 doors. Let's get rid of 2 knobs. We left our doors there. That's why we're doing that. Alright, move back right corner. And we want right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to move the countertop back in. We went 15 feet. Stay on the green line. 15 feet. It's back where it was. You're going to do a subtract of the countertop, enter, and the 2 lines or 2 boxes that we made, enter. So let's see what that looks like. See how it's cut out for where the sink's going to go. Okay. Let's see. Let's make some kind of faucet. So we're going to go back to our copy, or I guess our original. We can get rid of these 2. I'm going to create a faucet right here. Okay. So if I go from the midpoint, I'm going to go about 4 inches. That's just going to give me a point that I can draw a circle here. And make sure we're still recording. We are. Draw a circle here. That's probably, I'm trying to think about what kind of faucet I want to do here. It's probably just going to be something simple. Maybe a 2-inch diameter, so a 1-inch radius. Okay. And then what we have to do is we're going to have to draw, I think I want to do this with a polyline. We're going to go up. Let's see. I'm not getting a green line going up. So just make sure that UCS, yeah, UCS is on world, so that should be fine. Let's go to our front view. Let's orbit a little bit. You know what? Sorry. Go to the right view. Okay, we're over here. Orbit. Let's see if this allows us to draw up now. Center of the circle. Yeah, see, we can't get that line going up. So that's odd. UCS world. Maybe it's the polyline. Let's try a line. There we go. We're going to have to join it anyways because we're going to need a polyline. But let's go up about 12 inches. And then let's come forward about... This is going to be one of those ones that swivels from one sink to the other. Obviously, it's not going to swivel. Let's come out about... I don't know, let's say 8 inches. And then we're going to go to the front view. And orbit down a little bit. By the way, this orbit that I constantly do, I'm holding shift. And then I'm holding down the scroller on the mouse. And then I'm moving my mouse around. It's not the same thing as going to this orbit tool, because when I'm in this orbit tool here, I'm stuck in that tool and I have to hit escape. Whereas if I'm in fillet radius, let's make this like a radius 2, I guess. If I hit this, I'm going to get stuck in the orbit tool and it's going to boot me out of the other tool. But if I go into, and I just do my orbit the way I just said before, it doesn't boot you out of that tool. Alright, so we got that. Alright, now we're going to need a line going down. We'll go down about an inch. Actually, we got to go down about 3 inches. Let's go 2.5. Because when I try to do this fillet, I need to be at least 2 or more. So we get something like that. Okay. Now take these lines, join them together. And then we're going to do a sweep. See how it went to a spline? That's okay. It should still work. Sweep. What do you want to sweep would be the circle. Enter. And then what do you want to sweep it along? Let me get something like that. Let's orbit back and see what that looks like. Okay, that's a little on the thick side, so I'm going to back that down. So let's go, let's undo. Whoops, not that far. Let's stay, yeah, I'm sorry, it is going to be that far. We need to change this circle size. So here's another way to change this circle size. If you click the circle and you do a right click and you go to properties, you can change the diameter, let's say 1.25. Alright, and now it'll just do it from the center and size it down. So sweep, circle, enter, spline, or whatever we have, polyline spline. So we get this shape. Let's go to conceptual. That looks a little bit better. Okay, now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take that shape again, go to the top, go back to 2D wireframe, take this. Let's make another copy. I just don't want to disrupt the one that I already have. And I should have made a copy before I cut that sync out, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. I need to rotate this. Rotate. We're going to make it look like that. We're going to take this, and we're going to move that from that same bottom right corner, although we're not going to be able to see that corner. Let's do this. Let's go into one of these handles, the right handle, the center of the circle. Right handle, center of the circle. So it's a nice base point that got it in the same place that we want anyways, and we'll see what that looks like on conceptual, and that's pretty nice. Okay, it's just simple, you know, it's the Hollywood effect. Okay, alright, let's cut out a window above that and then we'll call it a day on this part 4 video. So 2D wireframe. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line on this inside edge, and I'm going to draw a line on the top edge, and I'm going to go to the front view and then orbit a little bit. By the way, if you want to see what this looks like, view, double click on camera 1. You got to drop this down if you see the plus. Double click camera 1, hit apply, hit OK. So I don't have any materials on there yet, but you can see that the sink is cut out and it looks pretty nice. Okay. Alright, so we're in the right view. This is going to come down. Okay, so I don't remember how far we made this. 7 feet probably, or maybe 6'8". So you know what, let's go to the front real quick. Oh, I made the walls 8 feet. So if we want to go 7 feet, then we're going to come down a foot. If we want to go 6'8", we're going to come down 1'4". 6'8" is really your standard height of windows and doors. So hopefully I did 6'8" when I did that door, but it really doesn't matter. Sometimes doors are higher, they have a higher head height than what the windows do. Okay, and by the way, this piece back here needs to be stretched more, because I was looking at the render and I can see a black space. So with that black space, you either got to put a wall up there or you got to put this infinite floor. I'll show you what that looks like one more time. View, double click, apply. See, we're seeing that black back there. So keep stretching that back if you want to keep seeing floor, or put a wall back there. That's totally up to you. Okay, that looks like a pretty big room there. So let's go back. Maybe we'll just put a quick wall. Okay, we're gonna click that corner, we're gonna hit length, we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go this way on the green line 4, and then we're gonna go up 8 feet, and then we're gonna go that way until we get to there. Okay, so let's do view again, double click camera, hit apply, hit OK. Now we see a wall back there that we'll fill in with some kind of color. Okay, alright, so going back, where were we? We want to come down with this line. Okay, so we're gonna do an offset of 1'4". That's going to be the top of our window. If this is a, let's think, 3-foot cabinet, it's going to be a 2-foot wide window. So maybe the window itself is 4 feet tall. Let's come down 4 feet and see where that ends up. That's a little low. 3 foot. That's pretty good. So that's a 3-foot tall window. Okay. Then we're going to come over. We want to get in the center of that cabinet there. So I actually don't know how far it is from there to there. We could dimension it, Well, let's do this instead. Let's go, I don't think I put that in the middle of the room. Let's go like this and go back to the front and see how close we are. Pay no attention to this one. This is on the other shape that's in front of this object. You'll see as I orbit down, that's like way in front. That's not exactly centered, so I'm just gonna look and see if I could just kind of get this. Let's just go about 10. All right, that's pretty close to the center. It really doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to see how centered the window is, but we could have dimensioned it. I just don't feel like doing it. All right. So now we're gonna make this a 2-foot window. So we're gonna go 12 left, 12 right. Get rid of the middle line. Fillet radius 0. From there to there, all the way around. Now there will be no cabinets above the window, but we will have some top cabinets later that end at the window and then start and go over here. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Take these, join these together, offset by 2 inches, and bring that in. Whoops. Why are we not offsetting? Let's reset our view, go back to front. Okay, get away camera. Offset 2. Can we go 2 out? That's odd. Alright, let's copy this window out. You know what? Let's explode this, pull it back apart, offset 2. This is the long way of doing it, but for whatever reason, it's not. You probably won't have that problem. I don't know why I'm having some problems here, but if you do, then just explode it and do a radius of 0 for your fillet, and just go around and do this. And now we got to select. You can actually select all these in one shot again, just like we did earlier. So we've got 8 lines. Join. It should go to 2 polylines or 2 3D polylines. That's fine. This one is going to get extruded through the wall, -4, and you're going to subtract from the wall, enter, the window, enter. Okay, so now we have a hole there. So if I go to conceptual, you'll see that there's a hole. Okay. You know what? Before you do that extrude, let's back up. We need a copy of this one. Let's copy this out. Copy. Let's go out this way about 15 feet, and I'll explain why in a second. Now you can extrude. Whoa, that was bad typing. Extrude -4, subtract from the wall. Oh, that's my dummy line. Get rid of that line. Where's that other line at? I think we're good. Subtract from the wall, enter, the window, enter. So there's a hole there now. Now go out here. Let's go to the front, flat view. What I want to do is I want to extrude both of these -2, which is going to look like that. And I want to, before I go any further, I want to draw a line across the midpoint. I want to do an offset 1 down, 1 up. Get rid of the middle line. I want to connect here and there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Join. I'm going to take that and extrude it back. -2. I'm going to union. I'm going to show you what this is going to look like in a second. Whoops. Oh, let's do our subtract next. Subtract from the big window, enter, small box, enter. So you'll see that we get something like that. But I want to union these together. Something like that. Now go back to 2D wireframe. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box at the back of this that comes forward 1 inch. That's going to be filled in with some kind of glass. Like usually I do a tinted glass, so otherwise you would see through it and you would just see into like black space out there. But that'll go tinted. So we'll take that one and we'll copy it from the very back corner to the very back corner of this one. So this window's done. Okay, take this window. We can actually get rid of this one over here. Take this window, move that over by 15 feet. Oh, it wasn't 15, maybe it was 14. 14 feet, there it is. And then go to conceptual and see what that looks like. and you can't see through it because of these, but later on they will be filled the correct way. Okay, and let's see, are we recessed right now? We actually should take these, it's a 4-inch wall, so we're gonna go back 2. I like it like that. Okay, and that's pretty much it. If you want to start putting materials and stuff on there, feel free to go for that. We're already at 20 minutes, and I like to do materials all in one shot, but that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is part 4, and like I said, I've got my student projects that I'm doing, so normally I'm going to do those first, and then when I have free time, I come back and do the kitchen one. Hopefully we can get this one done within the next couple parts. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.